So now we have division. It's worth noting here, it says if you have the square root of a and the square root of b, you can make it a one giant square root of a over b. So you can kind of push these two roots together. And sometimes that's helpful. For instance, right here, 35 and 7, 35 can break up, but it's not actually going to be anything. It's going to be, break up 35, you're going to get a 7 times 5, and there's no pairs there. And 7, you can't even break up. But if you join it up into one single square root, 35 divided by 7 is just 5 inside of my square root, and I'm done. So if you could join them up and then divide the fraction and it simplifies, that's often a lot easier. So again, I can split this up, or sorry, join this together to 56 over 7, and that is just 8, and I'm done. Now sometimes you can have outside parts with it. So the 6 and the 2, well, I can reduce that to a 3 over 1, and then the square root, the 3 over 1, and the square root I can join together to become a 18 and a 6. Now 3 over 1 is just a 3, and 18 over 6 is also just a 3, so I have 3 square root of 3. And you should be noticing when you look at these things, oh, 18 over 6 is 3, so I should just join them together. 56 and 7, oh, that's just 8, so I'll join them together. 35 and 7, oh, that's just 5, so I'm going to join them together. Whereas you get something like this, 48 and 27, that's not something that I can easily do. Like that's not a nice whole number. So that's going to require a little bit more work. So we have the 3 over 2, which again, that even can't be reduced. But I've got 48 over 27. So I make it one giant fraction. Now it turns out I can still simplify this fraction. So I've got the 3 over 2, the square root, and 48 and 27, well, those can both be divided by, I think, 3. So 48 divided by 3 is 16. I can divide that by 3. I can divide that by 3. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. And, okay, well, that 16 divided by 9 is not a nice whole number. But 16 is a perfect number and 9 is a perfect number. So I can change the rule back to, well, let's split them up. And if I split them up, I've got the 3 over 2, split up to square root of 16, then that's just 4. Square root of 9, well, that's just 3. And now I've got the 3 over 2 that I've had all along and 4/3. It might not be obvious, but this thing just turned into 4/3. How did we do that? Well, we joined them together, simplified the fraction to get 16 divided by 9, split the fraction back up. And the square root of 16 we could make a 4, the square root of 9 we can make a 3. And now we can multiply the fractions. 4 times 3 is 12, 2 times 3 is 6, and 12 over 6 is just a 2. So yes, it actually did turn into a really nice number, but it required a lot of work.